Hi friends, Elon Musk tweeted this just 2 days ago. They will IPO Starlink like in several years in the future when revenue growth is smooth and predictable. And he also mentioned that he's a huge fan of retail investors and will make sure they will get top priority to Starlink shares, and you can hold me accountable to it. Immediately in my head, I ran through all the scenarios on how this will be executed. I can't reveal too much, but what I'll say is I was involved in taking private companies to IPO. In this video, I'll talk about the most likely scenario that will happen to purchase Starlink shares, and you may want to prepare yourself for this. How does a company go public other than the new batch of SPVs doing reverse IPO? Personally, I think it's
so dumb. It's so dumb, like
Trevor Milton thinks the same thing too. I can't find his exact quote, but he mentioned that the traditional IPO route is a lot better. So for the purpose of this video, I'll skip SPVs. For a company to be a public listed company, they need an awesome business plan, obviously, and some sort of business going on, like the basics. The reason for companies to go public is because it creates massive amount of wealth. To bring a company to IPO, there's a series of funding that needs to be done. Funding will come from VCs, venture capitalists, and angel investors. Angel investors in the early stages and VCs towards the end. Companies like SoftBank are huge VCs. Here are the stages: Series A, B, C, and D, then pre-IPO. I'll quickly explain this. Series A funding is usually around $10 million, depending on the region. Basically, money needed to optimize the service or product. Series B funding is usually around $40 million plus minus $10 million. Series B is to help expand the reach of the company. Series C and D funding will involve the big institutions like banks, hedge funds, and private equity firms. By the time the company reaches Series C and D funding, it becomes less of a risk. At this point, the company has sort of a proven business model and the ability to scale. I just want to quickly add it in here. This is why I hate SPVs. Any donkey can become a listed company without proving much. Just reverse merge and that's it. Like magic, it becomes a listed company. Look at Nikola. Oh my fucking god! In my opinion, SPVs should be banned. It brings so much more risk to investors. Back to the topic, Series C and D is usually the final push before IPO. This is where Starlink IPO comes in, and this is where you want to be. In my opinion, Starlink will not have a Series A and B funding because it is already funded by SpaceX. So back to Elon's tweet. I'm a huge fan of retail investors. We'll make sure they get top priority. You can hold me to it. He wants to reward the investors and specifically mention you can hold me to it. That is a very strong message. You see, for retail investors, there is almost no way to access Series C and D funding round. You are just like a peanut in the grand scheme of things. These funding rounds will always go to the rich, the banks, the hedge funds, and private equity firms. If Elon releases Starlink pre-IPO to any retail investors, it will definitely be oversubscribed. There will be tons of unhappy people because how the heck are you going to choose who to give the privilege of pre-IPO shares? People with connections will definitely get priority, which is pretty much unfair. I mean, there's not a lot of things fair in this world. Overall, it's going to be a shit show. So, this is what's going to happen. You can hold me to it. Elon Musk wants to reward the people who supported him all these years, and there is only one way to do it: giving priority to Tesla shareholders. There is no other way. So pre-IPO funding will look something like this. The first condition will be the amount of shares of Starlink you are entitled to is directly proportional to the amount of Tesla shares you own. The second criteria will be the duration of owning Tesla shares. I mean, like, you cannot have people go buy tons of Tesla shares just to get access to Starlink pre-IPO shares and later sell it. If he does the above two criteria, he avoids short-term investors looking for a quick buck. And overall, it's like a double, triple win. He effectively targets people he wants to reward for supporting him and avoid a massive dump of shares once the lock-in period is over. Being involved in private equity previously, this is the only scenario I can think of. I read all comments. If any of you were involved like me, I'm interested to hear your point of view if it differs in the comments below. The above scenario has no negative. Wrapping up this video, this tweet by Elon Musk shows the kind of leader he is. He fucking cares, man! To have access to like pre-IPO shares, you probably need to hold a certain amount of Tesla shares for a period of time. And this is how you get access to Starlink pre-IPO. So buy the damn Tesla shares and stop being a donkey trading Tesla shares. It's proven that buy and hold earns more than short-term traders. So don't be one of those donkeys out there. I hope you learned something in this video. Appreciate the thumbs up. It helps a lot. Invest safe.